everybody, and welcome back to another Hytale News video. My name is Rain, and for today's news, we'll be unpacking all of the details regarding the recent blog post. But before we get started, we'd like to say a massive thank you to our community, ranging from our Discord to our YouTube comment section. We really appreciate you and all of your support, and look forward to hearing your feedback. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe and join our Discord where the link is, as always, in the description. Now let's jump into some news. Starting off, this blog post is titled A Visual Tour of Zone 3, which ultimately led to us starting out with the Zone 3 trailer that was released at EGX. This has been uploaded to YouTube from their official YouTube channel, so if you haven't seen that already, go ahead and check it out. First and foremost, we know that all zones have several biomes that are procedurally generated with unique prefabs and rules for topography and geography. The team says that the world was designed to possess expansive landscapes that have a distinct visual identity and atmosphere. We were then informed that despite other names floating around, such as Borea for this zone, none of these are confirmed. Therefore, for the time being, we shall continue to refer to them by their numbers. As always, they leave a short disclaimer stating that all screenshots and videos are still works in progress and not an accurate representation of the finished game. Looks like we'll be waiting a while for those that are keen for a summer beta release. Zone 3 is a wintry zone that has an affinity with the water element. This means that we will see water in all its forms, from winding rivers to icy stalactites. The blog post also described that this zone has a particularly dark history and has somber yet hauntingly beautiful undertones. Aside from the weather, there are also animals unique to the zone. We're shown a small woodpecker, a ram that we've seen in both the trailer and a few other screenshots, and of course polar bears. Due to the ram being tameable, it will be interesting to see whether an animal designed to thrive in the winter will be able to survive dry and harsh environments such as Zone 2 for long periods of time. We are also shown a preview into an icy cave, which looks so cold that you can almost feel it. This features bioluminescent mushrooms, which, if you didn't know, is just a fancy word for naturally glowing. In addition to that, we get our first look at a prefab for a mineshaft entrance. These are a fantastic way of finding a pre-existing mine quickly and easily from the surface, with a setup similar to a quarry. We've got all the traditional elements like minecarts, rails, ropes, barrels, crates, and massive suspension chains. The mineshafts appear to be almost the same dimension as the ones we see in Minecraft, but with loads more attention to detail, more bioluminescent species, stone brick archways, and lamps that fit right in with the mushrooms. The systems appear to be quite well lit, which is great and adds a lot of atmosphere to the gameplay. World Team developer Baxter says getting the prefabs flow was the most important aspect for him in creating these mines. Each node ends in a ladder or a staircase that allows the next node to attach on seamlessly. The same tools are used for generating dungeon prefabs, and they specifically use the word dungeon encounter, so it's likely that this is an entrance to a boss event like the one we saw in the trailer, where blocks cannot be destroyed. The entrance was guarded by a smaller mob, the Defender Skeleton, who seems to have just crawled out of the darkness. His eyes are glowing the same hue as the rest of the bioluminescent flora, so perhaps these mobs are ingesting these or even connected to them in a more mysterious way. Moving on, we were also shown the different times of day, which were simply stunning. With the fog adding depth to the game, it easily contends Optifine for its amazing visuals, and this is just the stock standard game. To approach an old topic, the Outlanders, we learned, are a breakaway human faction that declares Zone 3 their home. Their concept art shows a lot of deep purple corruption that we believe stems from Varyn and his desire to control Orbis. A breakaway human faction raises a lot of questions. Did they break away of their own free will for political reasons, or were they brainwashed and manipulated by Varyn's corruption? Could this have links to Kairos and Tessa, the two humans we've seen so far? The details are currently unknown. However, we do know they have access to a resurrection well. Now this is purely speculative, but perhaps the well is responsible for the army of undead that reside underground with the glowing blue eyes, and if plants are also drawing from this energy, they might grow back even after harvesting them. Their bases are primarily defensive, with high walls and watchtowers, meaning they're definitely concerned with protecting something inside from corruption, like perhaps their shaman, who resides in the highest tower. The concept also describes that the surroundings are corrupted. Maybe the shaman has secrets to unlock the power of the Well of Resurrection. To add even more mystery, there are Outlander pools that seem to be another point of interest prefab that we've seen a green version of in Zone 1. The color looks like it could be a deeper hue of corruption, potentially void energy, as it's definitely not the luminescent blue we've been seeing everywhere else. And based on the link between Zone 3 and the water element, we'd expect a blue point of interest, but maybe there's more than one if the corruption has reached it. These Outlanders seem to be essentially trapped in their forts, trying to fend off decay and contamination, so I wonder if players will have the opportunity to free them, or if the truth is more sinister than that. After all, the blog post asks who they are attempting to keep at bay. Varyn maybe? Or if these people really are evil, then perhaps Gaia or ourselves? Nevertheless, when players find this place, we'll have the opportunity to find out more from exploring, as opposed to waiting 3 zones later for a dramatic montage of what happened, which makes a lot of sense. The Outlander communities are very humble and make great building inspiration with thatched roofs and communal campfires with little stools and candles around. These might be the first other human race we encounter on our journey through Orbis, and we're excited to get there. To conclude the blog post, we are shown another look at the oversized Yeti boss, who's decorated with human skulls and another familiar set of glowing blue eyes. Could this be the mortal enemy of the Outlanders, or possibly one of their defenders? Either way, it wouldn't be a nice sight to see coming out of a cave in the dark night. Anyways, that concludes this week's coverage for the blog post. As always, it's time to thank you all for watching today's news video. It truly means a lot to us. You, the community, is what drives us every day to continue to bring you the most recent and relevant news from Hytale. Thank you. As always, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a future upload. Let us know if we missed anything at all, and we'll be sure to respond, as we'd love to hear anything more about Hytale, and we'll see you guys soon for another Hytale news video.